Welcome back to Bernie. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing amazing. Today's video, I'm a little bit under the weather. That's some allergies. But that's okay. We're still gonna keep going. We're still gonna keep doing these videos. But today's video, we're gonna be watching 3 true Chick-fil-A horror stories animated. And before we get into this video, my channel's right there. Make sure y'all subscribe. Subscribe. I just got a call from myself, Brandy, and she was saying that y'all aren't subscribed, but y'all are watching my videos. That's petty. You might as well just join the wave. You're already on the wave. Might as well join it. Ride it with us, you know? I shouldn't be getting calls like that from myself saying people are not subscribed or watching my videos. Like, that don't make sense. That don't make no sense at all. So make sure y'all subscribe, y'all like, y'all comment, y'all share, and have that post notification bell on so you're notified each time I upload a video. And let's get right into this video. And if I sneeze, I apologize.
This happened on a weekend, dead in the middle of winter. I'm an only child, 7 years old. This night, my parents finally agreed to my pleas to go to Chick-fil-A for dinner. It was around 7 p.m. But since it was winter, it was already pitch black outside. We showed up, and went inside to find the place was decently busy. It was a weekend, so that was to be expected. We ordered our food, and I went to go pick out where we'd sit. I remember picking a booth in the corner, right next to the play place. Right as the server brought over our food, I quickly began eating my chicken nuggets, knowing that the quicker I ate, the more time I'd have to be in the play place. When I finished, I asked my parents if I could go play, and of course they agreed. I was inside for maybe 10 minutes. Through the windows, I saw that cow mascot Chick-fil-A sometimes has out to interact with the kids. I instantly got excited. It was really rare to see the cow, as Chick-fil-A rarely had someone in the costume. I remember seeing him high-fiving the kids, walking around the building. Minutes went by. The cow proceeded to walk up to the plate.
That's a little sus right there. That's a little sus. He probably just got that uniform. That might even not be. Well, that makes sense. That might even not be. Does that make sense? That may not even be a Chick-fil-A worker. That could be just some random person that has a cow costume on.
Opened the door. I instantly ran up to him and gave him a high five. Just then, the guy in the costume gave me that hand motion to follow him. Without a second thought, I did. He first went out the play place door. Then, to my surprise, the actual building through an exit in the back. At that point, even at my young age, I realized something wasn't right. As we got outside, the guy took off his cow mask. To my surprise, the guy was really old, maybe mid-60s. The guy was sweating really hard, and honestly looked like he hadn't showered in weeks. I guess I never thought of what I expected the person who was in the costume to look like.
What the freak,
It
bro?
definitely wasn't that. Seconds after he took off his mask, the dude started to literally pick me up. Now, at 7 years old, I didn't weigh that much, so he had no struggle grabbing me. Now knowing for sure something wasn't right, I squirmed to try to break free. It didn't work. The guy proceeded to walk to a car, very back of the parking lot.
No.
He dug in his pocket, pulled out some keys. My heart dropped when I heard the sound of the trunk of the car opening. My squirming intensified. I was full on screaming at that moment.
No.
But luckily, before the guy could stuff me in his trunk, police sirens rang out. It was the most relieving sound I could have heard in that moment. The guy dropped me in reaction, got in his car, and sped off. About a minute later, my parents came running outside. I told them everything, and they were absolutely panicked. Apparently, the guy was caught only about 5 blocks away as the police saw his car speeding out of the parking lot and assumed it was him. The story goes that the guy who was in the costume held the actual employee with the costume at knife point in the parking lot, demanding
What?
he give him a suit. The employee complied and drove away. I called the police on him shortly after. Now that I'm older, I routinely think back to that encounter. If the cops had shown up literally 30 seconds later, I would have been in that man's trunk and he would have successfully gotten away with it. As far as I know, the guy was put in prison, and still is to this day, for multiple attempts of child abduction. This This happened a few months ago.
See, y'all need to be watching y'all's kids, cause stuff be happening, man. That's crazy, bro. That's why y'all need to watch y'all's kids instead of just letting them be in the play place. Y'all need to make sure they're straight. Like, that. I'm sorry, no.
At Chick-fil-A in my hometown. It was a Thursday. I was just getting off work. I got off insanely late this night. It was like 9 or 10 p.m. I decided I wouldn't have time to make myself food before I went to bed, so I just went to Chick-fil-A on my way home. I pulled into the parking lot and went inside. I ordered my food and went to a table near the back to wait for it. I couldn't help but notice how little people were actually inside the Chick-fil-A this night. There were like 5 other customers, which is insanely rare for Chick-fil-A, at least the one I go to. Now, I should add, I'm 23 and female. After a while of sitting in my spot, a strange guy walked over and placed a full cup of soda on my table. He said something about how he finished his food already, didn't drink any of his drink, didn't want it to go to waste, so he was giving it to me.
What? What? You didn't want to waste your soda, so you give it to some. I would have thrown it, child. I wouldn't even take nothing from nobody. He could have put something in that drink. You don't know what he could have put in it. And plus, she's a female, like he just said, she's a female. Nah, no, bro, that's a little sus now.
He was mumbling the whole time. Could barely even hold eye contact with me. It was pretty creepy, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I just wrote it off as some random guy trying to flirt with me. That's when I noticed about a few tables in front of me sat another guy. He was watching me insanely close. Wow, this really creeped me out. I really didn't like the feeling of somebody just watching me eat like that. The dude just continued to sit there, watching me, almost the whole time I was eating. He had no food in front of him. Finally, a few minutes later, the dude left the building. At this point, the place was almost closed, and I was the last customer inside the building. I was still insanely creeped out. I grabbed my trash, along with the drink that guy gave me, and threw it all out. I asked one of the male employees if he could walk me to my car. I proceeded to explain the whole situation. The guy was really understanding. He instantly dropped what he was doing to walk me out. I got outside. I proceeded to lead him to my car. He kept walking, and that's when I saw 2 men crouch behind the other side of my car that wasn't visible from the building. I almost screamed. They started to get up out of their crouching stance, slowly walking towards me. That was until they saw the employee that walked me out. One of them quickly said, sorry, we have the wrong car. They walked off. They were the same guys from inside the Chick-fil-A. I knew they were. One was the guy who handed me his drink, and the other was the guy who was watching me. I instantly called the cops and explained everything, though I left shortly after, as I was pretty shook up over the whole situation. I was never actually made aware if those 2 guys were ever caught. All I can assume is they tried to drug me with whatever drink they gave me that night, all in an attempt to make it easier to kidnap me. But luckily, I wasn't stupid enough to actually drink it. Still, though, this experience really scared me and caused me to never go back to that Chick-fil-A again.
Remind me not to eat inside a Chick-fil-A. Cause that's crazy. They tried to drug her and then, oh bro. See,
This happened 4 years ago. I was 12, going on 13 in just a month or two. My friend, Lindsay, was 14, which was quite a bit older than me, at least at the time, as the 2-year age gap was pretty big. We met in school and quickly became close friends. We were spending almost every single weekend together. Nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary. It was your typical Friday night. We carpooled to a family's apartment after school to spend the night together. After we ate dinner, me and Lindsay went to go hang out in her room. Now, Lindsay wasn't always a positive influence. She had a habit of talking to older guys online and lying about her age. Lindsay showed me some texts between her and a man she was talking to. I don't remember exactly what they said, but they consisted of him trying to convince her to meet up with him just the usual things you'd expect from a creep online. According to him, he was 19, tall, and blonde. And once I saw the texts, I asked for a picture of him. Something didn't sit right with me after seeing the messages. She showed me what he looked like, and he was very clearly not 19. The man was at least 40, and looked like he lived in his mother's basement. That's when Lindsay's phone started ringing. It was the guy. Lindsay answered without hesitation. When I heard the voice on the other end of the call, I felt like I was going to be sick. I could clearly hear the guy trying to convince Lindsay to meet up with him. Lindsay replied saying she couldn't, because she was spending the night with a friend. The mention of that must have sparked his interest, as the guy then proceeded to try and ask to meet both of us. Lindsay, lacking any common sense, said yes, and thus began our plan to sneak out and walk to meet this random guy in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. I obviously didn't want to go. I was raised on stories of what happens to teen girls who meet random men from the internet in person. But after adamant pleading from Lindsay that she didn't feel safe going by herself, I agreed.
You shouldn't feel safe going at all. Why are you trying to do this? Honestly, I'm that type of person who would tell the parents what's going on because I don't want to get kidnapped because you don't feel safe. You shouldn't feel safe in the first place talking to this random man that's supposed to be 19 but looks 55, and that don't make sense. No.
We took our phones with us for the walk. The route we had to take to get there didn't have very many street lamps. There weren't any houses.
Even
We
better.
were surrounded by trees on both sides of us. When we got to the parking lot, it was almost empty. Chick-fil-A was about 15 minutes from closing, and since Lindsay hadn't received a text from the guy saying he was there yet, we decided to go inside. We ordered some milkshakes and went to go sit on one
Hey, that's that same guy from the other video, from the other story.
booths while we waited. But while we were sitting inside, I couldn't help but notice a car pulling into the parking lot, just continually circling the building. The car clearly wasn't looking for a parking spot, as it went around the building very slowly, around 10 times. All the while, me and Lindsay were just watching it from inside. After we finished our milkshakes, the car was gone. Lindsay never got a text from the guy saying he was there, so we just decided to head back home. I was honestly insanely relieved that the guy never ended up showing up. But as we were walking home, I couldn't help but notice how many times a car had passed us.
They walked to Chick-fil-A at 9 o'clock at night. I'm guessing. I don't know what time does Chick-fil-A close. But it's obviously dark. There's no street lamps. There's no houses. There's trees, woods, and creeps. And you're walking back home to Chick-fil-A. Walking back home from Chick-fil-A. Are you serious? What?
The street we walked on to get back was almost completely desolate, with trees on either side of us. So to have even two cars pass us would have been rare. But I ignored it. It didn't look like Lindsay even noticed. When we got home, since it was late, we decided to just go to bed in Lindsay's room. Fast forward to around 4 a.m., we woke up to a loud bang. It sounded like someone smacking on the window. Though Lindsay's room was on the second floor, meaning something must have been thrown. Me and Lindsay both sat up and looked at each other. The sound came again. That same bang. We both agreed someone had to have been outside. And just then, we heard the heart-dropping sound of a voice whispering, "Hey Lindsay, it's me. I followed you guys home." We both instantly panicked in reaction. We knew exactly who that was. I started crying. I was honestly terrified. Lindsay ran to her parents' room and explained the situation. Her parents instantly called the police. But of course, when they showed up, the guy was gone. Lindsay went to show them the conversations, but the account was deleted. Neither of us remembered the username either. So there was quite literally nothing the cops could do to take a report. The whole encounter was really disturbing. Lindsay's parents were really mad with her, and this caused me to lose connection with her as a friend over the next few months. I haven't seen her in a while. I'm not entirely sure whatever ended up happening with the whole situation. I just hope that guy never returned.
Shoo, I would have stopped being friends with her too because she was a bad influence on you. And you knew something didn't feel right and you ain't say nothing. I would have said something to be honest because that's your safety and my safety. Like just think just think if somebody kidnapped those two girls. That car that was like going around Chick-fil-A 10 times, and that same car that passed by when they were walking home. What if they would have got kidnapped? They would have never been seen again. And then he gonna go hit the window, and her room is on the second floor. This is why I don't be doing all that stuff right now. I ain't got time for that. That video kind of, they got lucky. Like God was on it. God was watching them. Like God came through. God be coming through. He really came through for them, because the worst could have happened. Like that boy could have got kidnapped, would have never been seen again. Really? Right now? Ow. That boy could have got kidnapped. That girl could have got abducted, drugged and abducted. And them other two girls could have got abducted too. It's like, y'all, they need to watch their kids. Parents need to know what their kids be doing. And people need to watch their surroundings, because anything could happen at any time. So you gotta be prepared. Have your pepper spray, have your little pocket knife, whatever you need to do to protect yourself, so nothing will happen to you, okay? Okay. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys learned something from this video. And I hope you guys have a good night, a good morning, wherever you're at in the world. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to press that post notification bell so you can be notified each time I upload a video. And I hope I feel better, but I think I will. But I'll see you guys in the next video.